Yesterday, I went live on YouTube thinking that we could have some massive fights in our Brockback KVK4 with the past 7 opening. Well, that wasn't the case, and I had to do something else since I didn't want to end my stream in like 30 minutes. For that, I decided to visit my OG account with the viewers that I have not touched over 300 days. And we actually had fun going over the equipment, commanders, armaments, etc. Then just for the lols, I did this. I'm not playing on this account, right? The Rise of Kingdoms. Things like, if I give this guy a special talented Ring of Doom, maybe he comes back and keep playing. Let's give this guy a Ring of Doom special talented, so he's hooked again. That's how the machine thinks. Boom.
One eternity later.
I told you. And it got me thinking, can I revive my dead Rise of Kingdoms account with the upcoming Commander Swap event? Of course, I wasn't planning to go back to it just because we crit a Ring of Doom, but because when I actually logged into it, I realized that I kinda missed it. But of course, the problem is there are some serious issues with the account, such as having over 700 login days and only 1 billion kills. We will now go over all the pros and cons of this account, and we are gonna do some brainstorming together. After finishing the video, I want you to comment below if we should try to revive this account, and if so, how. Because some of you already probably noticed it, it's zeroed. Alright, there it is, my OG Rise of Kingdoms account that I have not played for over 300 something days, I guess 330 days. I mean, it's been a long time. Now let's go over pros and cons and talk about if we can actually revive it. As you can see, we have 55 million power. This means our account is completely zeroed. My beautiful 1 billion kill points, and if you take a look at our troops, as you can see, this is my total number of units, and we of course have some extra, around 390 in the hospital, and that's all we have. That is one of the major problems. So the number of kill points is a problem. The reason why it's a problem is because if I try to migrate to a quote-unquote good kingdom, probably I won't be accepted. Let's just face it. So that's why it's a problem, and since we are zeroed, we need time. We need time to recover, we need time to gather resources, we need time to gather some extra speed ups so that we can build those troops and hopefully be able to fight in the KVK. So kill points and being zeroed are our two major problems. And by the way, I didn't quit this account because I got zeroed. I got zeroed because I quit this account and I have not logged in. So the kingdom that I'm in right now had all the rights to zero me. I quit the game, at least on this account, and they zeroed me as they should. Now another major problem is, well, I can say was, because now we're getting the Commander Swap event, is that I have so many useless commanders. I have Expertise Herald, I have Expertise Yisong. I mean, Yisong is a good commander, he has a lot of different utilities, but he's not included in the best Archer March, so I'm gonna say, again, quote-unquote useless. I have a Max Takeda, and I'm pretty sure that I had, yeah, there we go. We also have a Max Attila. So we do have a lot of dead investments, but this Commander Swap event might be really good for this account because we also have really good commanders. Expertise Alexander, Expertise Nevsky, CPO, Boudica, also use this. Whole Cubing, 5115 Joan of Arc, we can just simply lock this and max this, so it's the same 5515, exactly what we have on our restart account. So we also have, as I said, good investments, but also a lot of dead investments. And I cannot believe what I'm about to say, but I have the same number of special talents on my equipment with my restart account. On my restart, I have 5 special talents, and on this account, again, I have 5. As you can see, I have 4 here and 1 right here. So equipment-wise, yes, I have good gear on my marches, at least the marches that I was using before I quit the game, but it is crazy that 700 plus account has the same number of special talents with a 300-day account. I just don't get it. However, the pro of this account is that we have bunch of accessories, right? We have 3 Ring of Dooms, 2 Horn of Furies, and also 1 Concealed Dagger. So a lot of materials compared to my restart account. There are a lot of materials in it. Another con of this one is that when I quit the game, we didn't have transmutation stones, transmutation crystals, whatever. We could only use the armaments that we get. So you get it from a chest, you need to use it as it is. You cannot change anything. And because of that, I have, like, the armaments on this account is just really bad. However, to be able to build some troops, I'll say we have okay amount of speed ups, 850 days. Training speed ups is only 7 days, but universals we have bunch. So I think this is just enough to be able to build my army back. at least for like couple marches, probably 3, maybe 4. And also we don't have a lot of materials and a lot of sculptures. The number of sculptures I have saved on this account is, I think, around 300. Yeah, 307. That's it, we don't have anything else. And materials, since we just crafted Ring of Doom yesterday and we got a special talented, I pretty much use the majority of my materials, so we don't have materials as well. But also, since we didn't have, you know, transmutation stones or anything, so we could only use the armaments that we get as it is. I have a lot of armaments, as you can see, and I have not, for some reason, I have not recycled them. So what I can do is maybe recycle all, get some coins, maybe try to work towards a shard, but it is highly unlikely that what we have is going to be enough to be able to fix our armaments, because as I said, they are really, really bad on this account. Now, of course, the main point of the video, the main thing that I want to discuss with you guys in the comment section down below is the commander swap event. So we don't know the rules, we don't know if we can, for example, swap an infantry commander for a cavalry one or a cavalry one for an archer one. We don't know it, so we're gonna assume that there is a troop type restriction, and also we know that it is officially announced that we only have 2 chances, and that's it. We don't know the cost, but it doesn't matter. If we decide to try to revive this account, then I'm just going to cover the cost. I don't really care what it is. So first, let's go over our infantry possibilities. My Liu Che is not maxed. He's level 30, 5511. So he could be an option for a commander swap event, but since we already spent 190 sculptures on Liu Che to get him to 5511, and we do have extra 34 sculptures, what I'm thinking is, if I use my swap for Liu Che, it is going to be a little bit wasted. Because right now I need around 500 sculptures to expertise him, and I already have 300 something, 34 here, so let's say we have 350, so we are only missing 150 sculptures in total to expertise Liu Che. So yes, I need the expertise Liu Che, but I don't think I should be swapping for him. And another problem is, for example, we could have swapped, let's say, Harold, completely useless, because I don't think we can swap Charles Martel just because he's a gold key commander. So we can swap Harold for Ragnar Prime, for example, and what we can do is we can use 2 infantry marches. Liu Che with Alex, pretty good, and Ragnar with Scipio. So on paper this looks like a good plan. However, the problem is we only have 1 infantry set. I don't really know why, but for some reason I have so many expertise infantry commanders, but I only have 1 infantry set. I'm assuming that I dismantled some legendaries and epics at a certain point, so I'm not really sure, but this is the case. We have a bunch of commanders, but we only have 1 set, and right now we don't have a lot of blueprints or materials to build a secondary infantry set ASAP. As I said, swapping Herald with Ragnar Prime would be good. We will have really, really nice 2 infantry marches, but the problem is equipment. So I would say we don't use any swaps for infantry. We just spend our sculptures on Liu Che, and we use 1 infantry march, and that of course will be Scipio Prime with Liu Che. So now let's move on to cavalry. For Cavs we have an expertise Attila and Takeda, Nevsky, Hokyu Bing, a 5551 William with a 5115 Joan of Arc. Now, I think Joan of Arc 5515 is superb. I use this on my restart account. So basically, we can spend some amount of sculptures, get her to 5515, and I think she's really, really good. Even though Joan is one of the best cavalry commanders, I don't think she's worth swapping just because how good she is with a low investment. If you're going to use your swaps, my advice is use it on commanders that are must expertise. So Joan is out of the picture, and the other low investment we have is William the First. 5551 William has always been a really good low investment, so I don't think we need to do anything about him. So I was using Nevsky Joan with QB William, right? How can we make these marches better with the swap event? Because I know we have a new cavalry commander coming, but that cav commander will be released after the swap event. And even if they release it before the swap event, I don't think you will be able to swap for him, so that is out of the picture. And the only thing that comes to my mind is swapping one of my either Attila and Takeda for Belisarius Prime. Now, Beli Prime is, I'm gonna be honest, not an amazing commander for everyone, but if you're using 4 or more marches, yes, his best debuff is when you're using 5 and plus marches, but 4 is still good, and this is hands down one of the best debuffs in the game. When you use Belisarius, I know a lot of people who are preaching for Belisarius just because of that insane debuff. They say that the target melts in seconds. So we can, for example, get rid of our Takeda or Attila, probably Takeda, and swap it for Belisarius and bench our William. So our march will be, 2 marches will be Nevsky Joan and Hokyu Bing with Belly. So we will be using 2 cavalry marches. The gear is not that amazing on my second march. Yes, it does have some epics and a few legendaries. For some reason, I have Warhelm of the Hellish Wasteland and I have Armband of the Hellish Wasteland. I think the reason was I was using a Satsukeda at some point, and 4 pieces gives 3% extra counterattack damage, and that's probably why I went for 4 pieces sap bonus. But it's not like the infantry situation, right? We still have, I would say, okay-ish equipment for our secondary cavalry march, and there we go. We even have an extra accessory. So something like this, I'll probably use Horn of Fury on the Nevsky march and Concealed Dagger on Hokyubing, but that's not the point. So what I'm trying to say is the secondary cavalry equipment is not like infantry, because for infantry we don't have anything, and unfortunately we also don't have any blueprints or materials to craft the equipment for our second infantry march. But for cavalry we will probably, I mean, if we go back to this account, we will 100% use 2 cav marches, and that will be the configuration for the second march. So I don't know what's the best. Maybe I should just, again, don't use any of my swaps for cavalry as well. Keep using Nevsky Joan, invest like 200 sculptures on Joan so that we can get her to 5515, and stick to our good old Nevsky Joan and QB plus William. Because as I said, the only option is swapping something for Belisarius Prime and benching our William I. Now, last but not least, let's move on to archers. So I only have 2 archer commanders, which are, 2 expertise archer commanders, Burica and Yi Songye. We have a bunch of major problems about archers. Number 1, their gear is like really bad. It's definitely not an SOC level gear, and this is not a secondary archer gear. It's not like the cavalry version. We just don't have anything for our archer march, right? Because that was my last investment. And let's say we swap one of them for Zhuge Liang, which is probably the best archer commander in the game, and one of them for Hermann Prime. So in this scenario, we are using both our swap chances for archer commanders, but then the problem is, as I said, we don't have the gear for it, so I don't even know if it's worth swapping for archers. By the way, why this is not straight? Do you guys see what I'm seeing? This looks like it's tilted. Am I going crazy? Anyway, so the second problem is, when it comes to archers, is, as I said, we are going for Zhuge Liang and Hermann Prime. Just like Joan of Arc, I think he is also really good for 5551. So if I use my swap on him, is it wasted? I don't know. Yes, it looks good because you are giving 2 commanders who are completely don't get me wrong, Yi Song is not useless. Double Relicum is still usable if you're using multiple archer marches, or he has other utilities such as like he's really good in canyon mode, he's really good for chaining barbarians and all that. But the thing that we are discussing here, that is it included in the best archer march in the game? Of course he is not. If I go for Zhuge Liang and Hermann, yes, I will have the probably best available archer march at this moment, but then I'm using my swap chance for a commander that is really good as a 5551. And that's, I guess, the reason why I wanted to make this video and share my thoughts with you guys, so that you can help me out and help me decide, number 1, if we should even try to revive this account, and number 2, if so, how. Hope you guys liked it, hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm waiting for your comments. I see you on the next one. Goodbye.